the next 30 minutes, we step away from the tools and talk about the humans sitting in front of them. Olympic bronze medalist, 3-time NCAA national champion, and Finding Mastery mindset coach Alisha Childress sits down with Dr. Michael Gervais, one of the world's leading experts on the relationship between the mind and human performance. Dr. Gervais has spent more than 25 years working with Super Bowl champions, Olympians, world record holders, and Fortune 50 CEOs. He's the founder of Finding Mastery, a best-selling author, and host of the top-ranked Finding Mastery podcast. Together, they unpack the trainable human skills that will help you thrive in the age of AI. Now over to Alisha Childress and Dr. Michael Gervais.
So glad to be here, Mike.
I'm excited to be here with you as well.
I'm excited to talk to you about the human skills that people will need to thrive in this AI era.
I mean, this is a real challenge for all of us. And we have some of the most powerful tools that we've ever had. And it is demanding us to really understand the psychological, the human skills that are required to power this, and to not be overrun by the speed, the rate of change, the challenges that are coming our way. So I'm really excited to have this conversation with you.
It's going to be fun. Ready to get into it?
I am.
Mike, you've spent 25 years inside the top locker rooms in pro sport and inside some of the boardrooms of the biggest companies in the world. And you've been in the trenches with people whose work is high stakes, consequential, and where mistakes are public. Why are you spending so much of your energy right now on AI and the people working with it? What's the connection?
I've been fortunate to spend better than 2 decades working in environments of consequence. And what those environments have taught me is that you have to be honest. Because if there's a mistake, if something goes sideways, if you are not properly prepared, or you're not a great teammate to somebody else, and things start to go awry, it's really dangerous. So those environments force honesty. And I am attracted to really, really, really understanding the environments that allow me to understand how the human mind works and what needs to be true to be able to navigate those high stakes, high consequence, high pressure, high stress environments. And that's how I feel like we're all trying to sort out right now, which is there's a lot of change that's happening. Stress is on, it's real, and AI is that forcing function. Now, the consequences are not as dire as some of the environments I've been fortunate to be part of, but I think that we're all feeling that stress, and that's why I want to bring some of those best practices and insights that world's best like you have taught me about how to operate in those environments that require real precision on how you're working with your emotions and your mind. And so, before we take this any further, that is why I want to spend time on the AI and the psychology space. What has been most interesting to you in this world where you come from, being able to operate at the highest level, at the Olympic level, and now feeling what it's like to work with AI?
I think it's that unknown piece. It's that I don't know what it's going to be. I don't know what it's going to change about how I do my job, what I've come to understand. And so I think it presents a nice challenge to go, I don't know about this thing, but instead of being fearful or instead of kind of stepping away from it, it's an opportunity to kind of jump in and get your feet wet, so to speak.
So that's an insight from a world-class thinker and doer. You're bringing up something materially important, is that we shape our experience in life as much as the environment does. The environment plays a big part in it, but your experience is determined by how you are shaping the experience. So that is basically saying your psychology. And what you just did is you said, look, there's lots of uncertainty. I'm interested in that because I know that when things are uncertain, it tunes me up. It brings the best out of me. Stress makes me versus stress breaks me. And so just that simple framing that when there's uncertainty and there's stress in the environment, I'm really interested in that because I know, because you've got world-class psychological skills to regulate yourself, that I can operate in that space. That's what I want to teach people right now. I want to teach people what are the foundational skills and practices to quite simply be your best in any environment, especially right now with the speed that AI is forcing us to examine our best practices. So again, I'm really excited to have this conversation with you.
Absolutely. I want to talk about something that I think people are quietly walking around with: fear. There's a real hesitation right now. People are asking, am I behind? Am I going to be replaced? What if I get this wrong? What would you say to that?
One, yes, I agree. Fear it's a really important biological process. So fear is at its core information. It is a whole cascade of experiences in your body and ways of thinking that say, hey, there's something here that could be dangerous. There's something here that could be risky. So pay attention. There's alarm bells literally going off when we feel fear. And I just want to ground. It's totally normal. I understand it because I'm feeling it too. But I use it as a bit of information. And I'm using it as information that something's important and I need to go figure that thing out. If we don't work with the immediacy of fear and we leave it unchecked, one, we become very, very expensive to run, because fear is an expensive way for the organism to operate because it's responding to something that is perceived or actually dangerous. So the first order of business is to be thoughtful and aware and sensitive enough that when you feel something like a fear response, that you can note it and then decide what to do with it. Maybe it's take a couple of breaths. Maybe it's work with, pay attention, oh, okay, what am I afraid of? As opposed to trying to block it out or stuff it down. All of that, again, takes a lot of energy to do. And right now we need to be very agile. So when fear comes up and you feel the experience of it, I notice it. What do I need to sort out? Oh, that's actually my imagination getting away from me. Oh, that's me thinking about something way later that is important and risky, but that's not something that I can do right now. So let me come back to this moment. Let me breathe. Let me reset. Let me downregulate so that I can give myself a better chance to solve the thing that's in front of me. So I just want to say it simply. Fear is the real part of this ecosystem. And knowing how to work with fear is really important. I'm going to oversimplify it. You got to be aware of what's happening in your body and what's happening in the contents of your mind. And then you choose if you want to downregulate, if you want to use it to help you be better. And that really is the oversimplification of psychology, is the study of yourself, and then you build the tools to be able to manage yourself well.
Yeah, beautiful. And then getting more and more comfortable with it. I would assume you get more and more efficient with fear as you lean into it more often.
Yeah, and when you have reps under your belt, so to speak, as an athlete, you do sets and reps to get better at something. And when you have time under tension with fear or with any kind of physiological state or emotion, you get better at it. You get to practice it. And if you're not honest, right now is the time to be honest. Because if you're not honest with yourself, you do not have a chance to get better. You've got a marginally thin slice chance of getting better. This is what I love about environments of consequence, environments of precision like the Olympics, is that you have to be honest. So this is a calling for us to be honest with ourselves, to be honest with other people, and do it in a way that is kind to yourself, kind to other people, strong, in what you're saying. And I couldn't be more excited about us having a conversation that fears part of this ecosystem, and we have to sort out how to be honest with what's actually happening with us.
Yeah, I think that was the most freeing thing as an athlete, to recognize that you could invite it in and get reps at time under tension. And I think that was really helpful for me as an athlete.
Yeah, time under tension with an emotion.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and let's open that up for just a moment, is that whatever emotion that you experience or feel, as soon as you're aware of it, now you're in the game of being able to work with it. It doesn't mean that it's going to run you, but you make a decision. What am I going to do with this emotion? Do I want to breathe? Do I want to say, thank you, not now? Do I want to say, ooh, this is going to help me? Or do you share it with somebody else? Like, hey, I'm kind of in a way right now. Now you give them a chance to be a great teammate for you. So it's being aware of it, naming it, and then watching what happens with it. And then you have a chance to be able to guide it well. That's how you put time under tension. So I think it's a really important skill right now, is to know how to work with emotions.
You've talked a lot about the importance of knowing who you are and what you stand for. Why does this matter now more than ever?
If you don't know what your first principles are, if you don't know what you stand for, in this environment right now, you get knocked off that block quickly. There's so much happening in our lives. It is a great time to be really clear about what matters most to you. And people are watching. People are paying attention because we are looking for a place in people or sanctuaries or places that, we're designing that feel safe, that feel like they have our best interest, that are reliable, that are sturdy. You can be that for people. And I think you need to be that for yourself. What does that mean? When I say people are watching, they're watching how you shape your words, how you respond in action. They are watching to understand as best as they possibly can, how are you thinking about them or a situation? And then if your thoughts, words, and actions are different when there's a high stress environment than over a glass of tea or, whatever it might be, like they're paying attention. If you don't have something that you can rely on that's going to guide your thoughts, that's going to guide your words to what matters most, and then, of course, the actions, I just think leaders are going to be exposed radically for it. Because under stress, it is natural to revert back to what feels most safe. And if that safety mechanism is to just take care of you, yourself, and that's it, and you're not going to be there as a good teammate, or you're not going to be in service of the mission that we said we're on, you are not trustworthy. You're going to get whipped around by the world. And I've seen world-class coaches do it both directions. They say all the right words. And then come stress time, they're like literally a different person and they lose the locker room. And I've seen this exact same thing in Formula One. There was a team that I was spending time with. He was new as the director of the team. And for folks that are not familiar with Formula One, it's one of the most precision forcing environments in sports. They are speeding at 200 miles an hour straight into a wall, and trying to figure out how to turn that machine on a dime and be the fastest on the grid. It's an amazing sport of precision, high risk involved. And the director comes in, the boss of all the bosses, and he comes in and he's on the factory floor and there's about 600 people. And he says eloquent words about the vision that he holds, about the shared mission that we're going to be on, the standards we're going to work from, his part in it. And they were great words. And everybody, all 600 were like, this is great. Oh, man, this is going to be amazing. And then there was one mid-manager that clapped a little bit longer than everybody else, and it grabbed the director's, the boss's boss, his attention as he just finished. And they locked eyes. And the director walked down, and after everyone left, and he said, I noticed you had a little extra in your clap. And he says, I did, sir. He said, I just wanted to tell you, those are good words. And he just nodded, and he did just that. He says, those are really good words. And what the boss took away from that, the new director of the whole thing, the fearless leader, was like, oh, I just got called out. My words and my actions better be consistent because they're not going to stand for it. It's real here. It's honest. If we don't live according to the code that I just said, people could get really hurt. Or it's just a sloppy organization. If you're in a position of leadership, you have to lead. Not only the tactics and the strategy and the P&L, not only all that stuff, that's table stakes. You need to lead a culture. And what that means is culture rests on how we relate with each other. That's all a culture is. It's the artifact of the relationships we have. And if you cannot create the conditions for people to feel supported and challenged, you don't have a chance in this high-performing, demanding environment that you're trying to operate in. You've got to know how to support people and challenge them. You got to know what you stand for and back it up because people are paying attention, because they want to be great themselves or they want to feel like they matter in this work. And as a leader, you're the one setting those conditions. You've got to really have your principles in place to speak truth to power. And if your principles are clear to you, they really matter to you, you will speak honestly because you are backed by the first principles. You are backed by earnest work. You are backed by a deep care. You are honestly trying to be your very best and to be a great teammate. Those people create winning environments. And they create environments that are really exciting to be in, because there really is, in the most amazing environments for performance and human potential and flourishing and success, winning, whatever you want to say, they're electric. Because you know that you got to bring your best, because the person across from you, you live this for many years, where you walked into the gym, you know you had to bring it. Yeah. So I think it's an exciting time for those that are going to invest right now in the psychological skills to have the courage to speak honestly and to know how to speak to themselves honestly first, that is lined up with their first principles in life. And I wish we had way more time to talk about how to develop first principles. It's not more complicated than get a pen and paper or whatever your mechanism is and just start writing what matters most to me. Write that stuff down and themes begin to emerge. You don't have to get a neck tattoo. You don't have to do any of that. You can just start working to what matters most to me and write, and you'll notice that you keep coming back to some core ideas.
A lot of people are quietly struggling right now. The work they used to be the expert on is being done in seconds. What is confidence really, and how do you keep it intact in a moment like this?
Confidence is considered a cornerstone to be able to operate and perform at your best. I don't think we could find a world-class coach or athlete that is not interested in this skill. Most people do not really understand how to build it. I know you've trained it, you understand the mechanics of it, but most people rely on a great performance moment or past success to be able to be the agitator for confidence. That's not how it works, though. You do need to speak to yourself in credible ways to build confidence. Self-talk, as we call it, is always 100% under your control. And so it's quite simple that if you want to be confident, you need to become aware of how you're speaking to yourself, and about the task at hand. And if you can do that in a credible way that backs you and builds you, you got it. You got confidence. And I think the moments that challenge us the most is when we do all of the work to prepare, to be our very best, and then there's this thought that enters in. Maybe I don't have what it takes. Maybe they're going to find out, I should have prepared more. And you start to tighten up. That's what it feels like for me. There's a tightening feeling, and I'm letting these thoughts drive me into a doubtful state or an anxious state. I'm in control of the thoughts. So I just need to do something more optimal, more useful with them. Do you have times that you've felt tight and times that you felt amazing, that you can map it directly to what you're saying to yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think playing for a world championship, I was just coming back from an injury, and the doubts of, should I be back now? Should the other person who was playing in my stead be out there? Have I earned the right? And all of those questions. And I don't think I was speaking to myself credibly, and so it took this work. It took this work of finding a way to rewrite that tape that was going on in my brain. And so then fast forward to the Olympic pursuit, I was much more seasoned and understood, and then was able to get to those thoughts ahead and also stop them in their tracks and rewrite them.
Literally, as simple as you said, it is the masterclass for how to work with your thoughts. You got to know what thoughts work for you. And how about it? You cannot fake it till you make it. I hope that idea just goes away.
That's my favorite. That you can't fake it till you make it. That was the biggest unlock for me.
Why are we trying to fake anything, right?
Yes.
And so know how to speak to yourself in a credible way. How do you do that? Well, you've got to go back to all the hard things that you've been through, the micro traumas, the traumas, whatever it might be, that have given you the right to be able to back yourself, because those things have been really challenging and hard. And so I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm kind of going to do that maybe, is what do you say to yourself if there's one statement? Now, as you're thinking it through, I know for me, I've earned the right, based on all the things that I've experienced in my life, to say, I can do difficult things. And if you were to ask me, what are those things? I can give you a handful of things that I've been through in my life that have been really challenging, that have allowed me to look into the future and say, I can do difficult things. This looks really challenging, but I'm good at that. I figure things out. That's self-talk. That's as simple as it is. But it's got to be real. It's got to be credible. That's mine. What is it for you?
I think that's a really similar anchor for me, is that, going through difficult moments has kind of hardened me or sharpened me for this moment, and anchoring to that as a concept. But I think what really resonated with me is credible and also sounds like me. I think I was trying to take on other people's statements and other people's words as part of my tape, even if they were in the positive, like you've got this or you're the best at this. And so I would say the things and it didn't ring true because it didn't sound like me. And so I really had to anchor to what does sound like me, and that usually leaned more towards the technical side of things, in the sport of volleyball. But what is the thing that I need to do in order to trust that good things will happen? And so when I do this way, good things will happen.
This is what we're having is a conversation that happens behind the velvet rope of pro and Olympic sport, because world-class athletes, they are the product. So they need to know how to be great with their craft. They need to be great with their physical carriage, their body, and they need to know how to be great with their mind. They're not leaving one of those up to chance. The rest of us, it kind of feels like it's super, like, what are you talking about with my thoughts? Like the mind is this thing and I'm not sure how to train it. It's as simple as know the thoughts that work for you and say hello. Let's keep playing that tape. And the thoughts that don't work for you and say goodbye. Like literally say goodbye to those types of thoughts. I know you have a set of thoughts that do not work for you. I have a set of thoughts that do not work for me. When they pop up, I wink at them. I'm like, yeah, not anymore. And then new ones pop up, and then I wink at those. Yeah, not anymore. And then I'm working to speak to myself in a credible way to back myself. And I'll use your language that sounds like me. Yeah.
Do you find that, business leaders or people that become masters of their craft tend to struggle when they notice that they still have those thoughts and I shouldn't be thinking these thoughts, or I shouldn't be struggling with confidence at this moment in time?
Totally. Like knowledge and information does not change behavior. So just knowing and doing the intellectual exercise is not enough. And then just like any skill, confidence is a skill, which means that you and we need to train it. And just because we train it once or twice or for 3 years does not mean we're a master at it. There's 5 decades of stuff that I've said to myself that is not useful. It's in there somewhere. So when it pops up and it creeps up, then I just need to be cool with myself that I'm a work in progress and I'm trying to figure it out. There's nothing perfect about what I'm doing. And I really do want to learn and be great teammates to other people. So to be a great teammate, I have to back myself so that I'm not a mess. And I've learned that from people like you. If you want to do something special, it requires other people. Nobody does the extraordinary alone. And so that means we need to be great teammates to each other.
So much of what's happening with AI right now is outside any one person's control. The pace, the policies, the roadmap. How do you stay grounded when so little of it is in your hands?
I think you're asking a question that's almost a first principle full stop, which is people that are committed to mastery, which means like this pursuit to understand how far they can take this craft or this concept that they're interested in. They're operating with such discipline on what they can control that they literally are gating out all the things that are not in their control, that all that other stuff really is a distraction, it's noise. The technical term is called locus of control. It's this idea that I am not trying to control the things that are not in my control. And what's always in my control is the way I speak to myself, my attitude towards the activity that I'm doing, the effort that I apply to my, whatever I'm doing. There's very few things that are ultimately 100% in our control. And that idea in this very messy, fast, uncertain world, it is one of the great skills. Is that in my control or not? No, it's not. Bring it back to what is in my control. It's a great tool for leadership as well. I think it's one of the necessary first principles in this modern world, knowing what's in your control and being great with those, and then helping others do that as well.
Do you find that when you can train this and when you can become more aware, you almost get energy back? Because I would assume, fatiguing to sit and worry about all the things that are outside your control.
I know you've lived it, I've lived it, is when, there's a word called self-efficacy. It's a fancy word. I don't usually bring it up, but I think it fits here. So efficacy means power. And so when you're thinking about a person who is efficacious, they have a lot of felt power. And what that means is, like, if I put my attention to that thing over there, I don't know if it's going to be great or not, but I know I can make a difference on it. So when I apply myself, usually pretty good things happen because I've got something special about me. That's self-efficacy.
Mike, before we go, you've talked a lot about the importance of starting your day with intention. Can you tell folks about the morning mindset routine and where they could find it?
I love this practice. It's really simple. It's been designed to wake up 4 parts of your brain, if you will, 4 centers of your brain. And the easiest thing is, like, I'll just walk through these 4 things. It takes about 90 seconds, and all of this can happen before you even take your sheets off, really. So you're in bed, just take 1 deep breath. 1 deep breath just calms the whole system down. It reminds your brain that you're in charge. When you send this long exhale to your brain, it sends a signal that we're safe, we're good. Before you check into the noise of the world, check into the signal. 1 long exhale. The next is 1 thought of gratitude, which is just this beautiful thought about what you're grateful for. But this is not a check the box. This is like, I'm really grateful for fill in the blank, and just kind of marinate in that for just a moment. Then be clear about your intention for the day. How is it that you want to show up today? Use your imagination to get a quick little glimpse. And if you want to spend more time there, that's great. And the 4th thing is just, you take your sheets off, kind of slide yourself to the side of the bed, and just take a moment to be where your body is. Practice being present. Super simple. There's a resource that we have for folks. It's at findingmastery.com/morning mindset. And I think it's a great practice that is a simple way to start your day, to open up very particular parts of the brain, to give yourself a chance to be your very best in this fast-paced world that we're all in.
What a gift. Mike, thank you. That was incredible.
You know, I always enjoy sitting down with you, and it's always a gift to be able to learn from world-class athletes who did it in a world-class way on the global stage. So thank you for sharing.
Always fun to have this conversation. Before we wrap, I want to take a moment to speak directly to everyone watching. Everything we covered today is covered in our flagship mindset training course, Finding Your Best. It's the same framework Dr. Mike and our team have built over more than 20 years working with the world's best. Tens of thousands of people have gone through it, and because you attended this session, we're offering you $100 off the course with the code HUMAN100. Simply head to findingmastery.com/course and use HUMAN100 at checkout. If anything we talked about today resonated, if you felt that little tug that says, I want to go deeper on this, that tug is information. Don't let it pass. Thanks so much. Keep pushing.